Jay's Eric Bilstead. As we ring in 2025, are you heading into the new year with the same old joint pain? It's time to make a resolution, to get moving again. No more achy joints for your knees, your hips, shoulders, or your back. You're going to call QC Kinetics in 2025, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. Got locations in Greenfield and Mequon under the leadership of Medical Director Dr. Ashley Caravelli. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions. So many of your neighbors here in Milwaukee are living life again without the constant pain in their joints. Here's what you do. Resolve to get lasting relief in 2025. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today. Happy New Year.
Tonight, the Bucks burn out the Miami Heat at Fiserv Forum.
Here's Damian Lillard, can't hit the three, but there is Giannis to slam it right back up and in.
Our coverage starts at 10:96. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock and 15 degrees in Milwaukee. Today, mostly sunny, still cold, though. We have a high of 20. We're getting there. Tonight, clear and cold. We'll dip down to 4 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Ty. A federal judge in Seattle has signed a temporary restraining order blocking President Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship. 4 states, Washington, Arizona, Illinois, and Oregon, argued the executive order is a clear violation of the 14th Amendment.
It's separate from a larger group of states also suing in Massachusetts. The Trump administration is defending the executive order, saying a temporary restraining order against it is not needed since it doesn't take effect until later next month, and babies impacted have not yet been born. And the administration is arguing that certain wording in the Constitution gives the president some wiggle room in the 14th Amendment. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Shortly after President Trump signed new executive orders on immigration, the Pentagon said it started deploying 1,500 active duty troops to help secure the southern border. ABC has reporters in El Paso right now where they report a drop in arrests at the border.
Over the last year, we have seen a considerable drop. Now, some of that was forced. There was a border security bill that was in place, had bipartisan support. It obviously didn't work out. So then we had to see the president step in and put in, strict measures back in June. And that really is what impacted, what we are seeing now. The apprehension numbers are low.
A triple shooting on Milwaukee's north side leaves 1 person dead and 2 hurt. The shooting happened near 39th and West Cheyenne around 6:30 last night. A 22-year-old died at the scene. 2 people in their 50s were taken to the hospital with injuries. Police arrested a 32-year-old. This shooting comes just hours after a 15-year-old died in a shooting near 28th and Atkinson. Rescued from the icy waters of Lake Mendota, the Madison Fire Department responded to a call near Picnic Point just before 11 o'clock last night. A man actually used his cell phone flashlight as a beacon to help firefighters spot him. That was smart. He was about 3/4 of a mile from the UW campus boat ramp. The lake rescue team rescued him from the water, and he was taken to a local hospital. The man said he was walking on the ice when he fell through. He was in the water for about 20 minutes. Buc-ee's could be coming to southeastern Wisconsin. The city of Oak Creek will discuss the possibility of opening a Buc-ee's Travel Center at their January 28th Plan Commission meeting. The proposed site would be located at the southwest corner of I-94 and Elm Road. It would feature a massive store, as Buc-ee's does, 120 gas pumps, and EV charging. The store's anticipated opening is early 2027. Public hearings on the plan will start in February. Time for news about your money. Here's a WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. A little bit of a mixed bag right now. The Dow is up 332 points to 44,488. S&P 500 is up nearly 12 points to 6,098, but the NASDAQ is down. NASDAQ down almost 44 points to 19,965. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
Hey, there's free pizza today at the amazing Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the free pizza days. Seriously, it's free. Coaches, managers, business owners, listen up. Check this out. Every Thursday, when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 2, get 2 free. Buy 10, get 10 free. You get it. Bring in your basketball, wrestling, hockey, gymnastics, volleyball team, or your club organization for free pizza after your practice or game. Your players are going to love that huge game room. It's super affordable team bonding. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees. Half those pizzas are free. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and Oshkosh near the EAA. It's right off the interstate. Tons of seating, tons of close parking. Buy one pizza today, get one free. That's tons of value. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. Order now and pick it up shortly or dine in. A reminder, the Friday all-you-can-eat fish fry is just $7.99. Whoa, that's great value. Walk in today for your free Thursday pizza. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. At Diamonds Direct, there's no gotcha clause, no fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Who else does this? There's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Milwaukee Bucks still hoping to get back in time for tonight's game against the Miami Heat here in Milwaukee. They're currently stuck in snowy New Orleans, where last night's game against the Pelicans was postponed because of the snowy weather. Bucks President Peter Feigin joined us on Wisconsin's Midday News just minutes ago.
We've got to shuttle aircraft to New Orleans, like from Atlanta, kind of the timing gets to, so we could possibly have a landing around 5 o'clock. If that happens, we'd probably look for a later start, but this is all in motion.
In motion, indeed. I've been tracking the plane, and right now, the departure time keeps getting bumped, and the arrival time obviously keeps getting bumped. Then right now, the arrival is scheduled to be 5:03. That's going to be really tight for a 6:30 game, but we'll keep you posted. If everything goes as planned, our coverage here is set to start at 6 p.m. right after Wisconsin's afternoon news. Meanwhile, UWM beats Wright State 95-79 in Horizon League play Wednesday night. The Panthers take on Northern Kentucky tomorrow night. Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We've been doing pretty good so far. A couple disabled vehicles out on the system. Right now, there's a new one, I-43 South at Highland Avenue. Left shoulder is blocked because of a disabled vehicle there. And the other incident, that one just cleared in Milwaukee County, so that one's looking good.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com today.
Here's the WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Mostly sunny, still cold though. We have a high of 20. Tonight, clear and cold, will dip down to 4. Tomorrow, increasing clouds. We have a slight chance for flurries in the evening hours. High of 20 as well tomorrow. Saturday, becoming mostly sunny. Our high is 34. That's going to feel good. Sunday, mostly sunny, high of 27. And then listen to this. Monday, partly cloudy, but our high is 37. So close to 40. We are now up to 16 degrees in Milwaukee, 12 in Waukesha, and 17 in Racine. I'm Jessica Ty. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 1:08.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State, and here are your hosts, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Good afternoon. Well, we got a lot to get to as usual. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we are going to be talking to the UW Health Chief Nurse, Rudy Jackson, about their recent award as far as how much they are doing for veterans, as far as hiring veterans and their new program. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. And then we also are bringing back the The drugged up rats.
Let's get to stoned rats.
Because not only are there rats having drugs that they're finding, but there's also a Wisconsin connection here about a past interview I did as far as coked up. I guess they were coked up mice, but
They're in the
they were
same
in the rodent family.
Rodent family doing illicit drugs. We're all over it here. Then, of course, we will spin the state, and we'll talk a little bit about Governor Evers' State of the State address last night. And if you have children in youth sports, perhaps you've noticed there's a shortage of referees. Why is that? Look in the mirror. There's your hint.
But first, we would be remiss to not spend some time talking about a local story that has turned national in CBS 58's firing of Sam Kuffel, the meteorologist, over her decision on her personal Instagram story to, using some expletives,
right,
criticize what some say is a Nazi salute of Elon Musk. I think that is my impression. I still stand on what I saw is what I saw.
Yeah. I don't think it makes sense to debate because, yes, I'm with you. He did a Nazi salute. You're never going to convince me otherwise. I saw it with my own eyes. Don't come at me with Romans or he was excited. I've been very excited, Kristen, many times. Sometimes right on this show. I've done a lot of things. Have you ever seen me Nazi salute in my excitement?
I have not seen you hit your chest.
No,
and then
because you don't do that. So I don't want to debate that part. And I think she was going after him, but also basically saying, if you believe the spin that's coming out from Elon Musk and the Republicans about this, then I don't want you in my life. So that was the gist of the tweet.
It's a cleaned up gist of what she said. And so we're going to spend the first half hour on this. But my first blush at this is a intense week where there is a lot of emotions. And this is also on the heels of, as we started this week, of the TikTok ban and TikTok coming back and our conversations around all of the richest men in the world sitting in the front row at the inauguration who also happen to control most of the media outlets where we communicate with one another. And I think that there is a lot of people on edge as far as going into this administration feeling like the D word, as in dictatorship, has been thrown around a lot and people are on edge. And so for CBS 58 to enact without, if you take away the details of just what the headline is,
right,
it's hard not to look like this is, if you dissent, you will get fired. Now, I want to get into more of the details and the back and forth throughout this half hour, but that on its face, I think, is what people's reaction to, because I know CBS 58 is getting a lot of feedback right now from people, because there's a lot of people who are not happy with their decision, because you could have suspended her.
Right. Well, this is where I'm torn, because I think CBS 58 has made a crucial error, because on the surface, and if they disagree, they're welcome to call and talk to us. It appears that they're backing what Elon Musk did, that they are supportive of that. Where I'm torn is employers do have a right. Mm-hmm. If you do something that casts a bad glow on your company, they do have the right to punish you in some way. You mentioned suspension. I think for this infraction, that would have been fine. I don't think we need the staged formal apology. I think you take her off the air for a week. You say she's off the air for this reason, and then she comes back. So that part, I'm for that. I'm for employers telling their employees, listen, here's our rules. You follow them, or these are the laid out consequences. But then I'm with you where we look at the front row, we look at who seems to be controlling things, and the fact that just since Monday, suddenly I'm getting a lot of things on my algorithms that aren't things that I usually would have watched or read in the past. So my message is being changed.
The messages you're receiving
that I'm receiving are being changed. And it does appear from this instance, and we'll see as it goes further, to your point, you're right, dissent. If you dissent, if you point out, if you're the voice, whether you're fired from your job, you're a bishop who is being told that she should be sent to another country, even though she's American, and she should be taken off the pulpit because she dared just preach the word of God in front of people who obviously don't like having that preached to them. So it's a very dangerous and precarious time. So we'll talk about it more.
And when we come back, are you familiar with what your company's social media policy was? Because I read ours this morning.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of wiggle room. So we'll talk about all of that and more on the other side of this on Spanning the State.
Catch up on Wisconsin's midday news with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
It's not the extension of pumpkin spice season. No, it is not a maple cold foam cold brew with artichoke.
In the mornings, Greg will typically drink an iced coffee, a cold coffee. Gina does hot coffee, and then I do tea.
By listening to the Wisconsin's Midday News Podcast.
Darkness Retreat isn't for me. Ayahuasca's probably not for me.
Sponsored by Siding Unlimited.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Elizabeth and John bought their starter home 8 years ago, BC, as in before children. Now, with 2 elementary school-age kids, they wanted to make a move to the suburbs for a bigger home with more yard. But they didn't know if or how they could buy their next home without selling their current one. Fortunately, a friend who was a multi-time AccuNet client connected them with us, and we soon determined they could, in fact, afford to buy without selling first, which was a big relief to them and their real estate agent. Armed with an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, it still took several weeks to find the right home for the next chapter in their life. But I'm happy to report that Elizabeth, John, and their boys opened their presents on Christmas morning in their new home after closing just a few days before. Whether you're buying your first home or your next home, go with the pros who have all the tools and know-how to make your home buying experience as smooth and successful as humanly possible. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It is Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry, and we are talking about our reactions to Sam Kuffel, who was a CBS 58 meteorologist who has been dropped by the station one day after she criticized Elon Musk on her social media, on her Instagram stories, for... It is funny to me as far as the legality of what different media outlets keep calling it a arm gesture. Because I think for similar reasons, right? That an arm gesture that has been likened to a Nazi salute as far as what they're doing to protect themselves, apparently. But I had multiple reactions last night when this news broke. It is now a national story. New York Post has picked it up. Daily Beast has picked it up. There's lots of national figures on social media that are sharing the story. And I took the moment to text our boss and said, this may be a good time for either you, for our station, or Craig at the top of the company to address and rehash what our company's social media terms and conditions are as far as our employment here, because we live in a world now where when we talk about an Eagles fan verbally harassing someone at a football game and then the ramifications of his actions as he got fired a couple of weeks ago, we talk about a meteorologist whose job is very different but still has personal opinions on her personal channels. And so having some clarity with your boss in this day and age when emotions are running high and you feel like, oh, I'm protected to say what I want, but you're not necessarily protected from the ramifications of your actions. And so
And most people don't, I would imagine, most people don't read the entire handbook that they get. We have to sign that thing at the end that says.
Because let me read what ours
yes,
says.
Please do. This is ridiculous.
Good Karma Brands reserves the right to discipline up to and including termination full-time, part-time interns or contract teammates due to what the company in its own determination deems to be inappropriate activity or posts on social media or use of social media at inappropriate times. That is pretty
What
vague.
does that mean? And who is, we don't know who, like if, say the people who make these decisions, and we don't know who they are. It might be one person right at the top. It might be the man himself, or it might be a committee. But what if I get them on a Monday and they're in a bad mood, and suddenly what they deem inappropriate on Monday isn't really inappropriate at all, or to them on Tuesday they would have said, that's not, we'll talk to them. That's all. So this is a little too vague.
It's and it wouldn't surprise me if this is how vague it is for a lot of people in their contracts or in their employment agreements, right? As far as it's kind of like a sweeping statement that protects and gives a lot of the discretion to the employer as far as what covers them for saying this is out of line, you're dismissed.
Well, another thing that came up as we were discussing this and going back, there have been other times that she has had to be called in based on, and we're talking about Sam Cuffle from CBS 58, formerly, called in on the carpet about different things that she's posted on her personal channels. And it seemed to come down to some of her message seemed to inadvertently, whether it was inadvertent or not, alienate part of their viewing audience. And so that's what some people are hanging their hat on. Well, listen, she's done this before, and so this was a time, and we don't know if the last time she was called in, if that is in fact true. Her boss said, if you don't adhere to these guidelines, that's it. This is your final warning. So we don't know if that happened.
That's what I said when I meant in the first segment, as far as there is the overarching headline.
Right.
And then there's the details of the story.
Exactly.
And I would say the overarching headline for CBS does not look great.
No, and that's the thing. You can argue about whether she deserved it, whether she had been in trouble before, whether it had been problematic.
Whether it's up to the company's discretion.
Exactly. Just like ours. It could be very vague, like ours. I'm wondering where the pressure came from. We know it started with
the irony of it all.
Yes, a flamethrower conservative radio host who decided, I got to make some headlines, so I'm going to go after this meteorologist who doesn't like the fact that some people back Elon Musk for. And I love we're getting text. Are you sure it was a Nazi salute? I don't know. Look at it for yourself. If you don't think so. Do it at work tomorrow. Somebody tweeted that the other day. Do it when you go to the grocery store today. When you go to pay for your groceries at the Piggly Wiggly. Throw up that salute and see how many people just say, "Oh, look, he's saying hello." But Dan O'Donnell is on another station. He's one of these guys, a hardcore red meat conservative talk show host. They're there just to get people riled up, and so he saw this tweet. And he decided he was going to rile everybody up. And I know one guy who does that kind of radio.
Okay.
And in his case, I'm not speaking about Dan O'Donnell. In my friend's case, and he's very good at it, it's an act.
Okay.
So I don't know if this was an act, but it's a good way to get people riled up.
But it's also the irony of this.
Yes.
Is his coworker right after the DNC, Jay Weber, also has a show, also on that same station, tweeted something horrific around Tim Walz's son that he then apologized for, but he was suspended, right? And there was a lot of people. There was a big pressure campaign to get him fired.
Right.
And he wasn't. He's back on air. But this is why I don't come back to if you want your job,
right,
you need to be clear and not just look at your vague employment agreement as far as what you can and cannot say on your public channels. And for all of us, we are more public figures, right?
Exactly.
Like Sam is a public figure as far as being a meteorologist who obviously has a different role than what you and I do as far as our job is to talk about the news.
Right, and give our opinions.
And give our opinions. And so is Dan O'Donnell, so is Jay Weber's. And so they're in those conditions, maybe there is more leeway for you on your personal channels to speak your mind. But we are entering a phase right now where people have lots of opinions no matter what your job is.
Sure.
And it's a little concerning that in the first week, this very public story is she punched up and criticized the richest man and one of the most powerful men in the world and lost her job for it.
And I'm sure the people who made that decision at CBS 58 are going to take the tact of a lot of our viewers voted for this administration, which is true. And that's, but this is, I think it's okay for someone to say, if you back this, I don't want to hang out with you. Sam Kuffel is not in the business of hanging out with viewers. Yes, she is part of CBS, and would it affect their viewership? Who knows? But it's an easy way for management to get rid of somebody who may or may not have been a problem before with this same kind of thing. And maybe this, they thought, was going to get people off their back. They have miscalculated the response of their viewers by reports that we've gotten, and rightfully so, in my opinion. But now you got to pay the price. And how do you as a company then say, well, we're not supporting the gesture and what you think the gesture meant, even though everybody, it's pretty clear except a few people on what that gesture.
There's actually a lot of people who are saying it was not what a lot of people thought it was. But I mean, it got blurred in Australian news.
I'm gonna double check this other fact, or this other thing that I saw. But the point is, you could line 10 people up, and not bring politics into it. Just and then use an anonymous human being. So let's say we get 10 people lined up, and we say, watch this man, and watch the gesture this man makes. Now, what do you think that gesture means? And I'd say if we didn't get 10 out of 10 who said it was a Nazi salute, we'd get 9 out of 10. Because that's, no matter what the meaning, no matter if he's trolling or not, that movement, that salute, it's like when you say Kleenex. It's a brand. The Heil Hitler is a brand. Not a good brand, a brand that I thought we had wiped out a long time ago, but it is a brand. And he was showing that brand.
All right, on that note, we got to take a break. We'll be back in a minute.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One Collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One Collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One Collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContractingWI.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
A lot of people commenting, and thank you for your comments, whether they agree or not. A lot of people say, what happened to free speech? Free speech. That's the big worry, right?
Well, and this is the thing,
and
right?
It goes back to the
Because it goes
policies.
back to the fact that ultimately free speech is freedom from not being arrested for what you say.
Right.
And she is not Sam Kuffel from CBS 58. This is what spurred all of this. Has not been arrested.
Right.
And she did lose her job. And this goes back to conversations around a lot of people who, when the things that they do go viral on social media, you're not necessarily, if you're a private employed by a private company, entitled to your job. The one place where this gets hairy is if you're employed by the government, right? And this was the whole Joe Gao porn chancellor thing, right? Is that because of who his employer was, it was a different conversation. But I don't think this is the last that we've heard of this. But we're going to move on for now. So ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A federal judge in Washington state temporarily halted President Trump's executive order seeking to limit birthright citizenship, saying it violates the 14th Amendment.
The 83-year-old Reagan appointee who heard the initial argument on the president's executive order said in his 4 decades on the bench, he can't recall a more clear case. Judge John Kuhnauer called Trump's move blatantly unconstitutional, and he swiftly issued a restraining order to block it. The president has aimed to prohibit the issuance of passports and Social Security numbers to children born to immigrants here illegally or on visas starting next month.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. Senator Lisa Murkowski says she's a no vote for Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth, citing his past comments on women serving in combat and allegations of mishandling finances. Republicans can only lose 3 votes without Democratic support. The majority of the country remains locked in a deep freeze. That includes rare snow in the south. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:31. I'm Jessica Ty. Kenosha police need your help finding a missing teenager. 18-year-old Kayla Sobczak was last seen leaving 12th Avenue and 60th Street in Kenosha the night of December 17th. She was reportedly picked up by a man in a gray sedan. It's not known where she was headed. Sobczak has a history of mental health issues and drug addiction. You can see her photo right now on our website, WTMJ.com. Master Lock's parent company will close its office in Oak Creek. Fortune Brands Innovations is consolidating operations to its Deerfield, Illinois location. The news comes about 10 months after Master Lock closed its historic plant in Milwaukee's North Side. Milwaukee Business Journal reports the move will impact about 120 workers in Oak Creek. The relocations are expected to be done by September. And Milwaukee Area Technical College just entered an agreement with the Milwaukee Bucks to share an athletic training facility in the Deer District. It will be built across from Fiserv and just blocks from MATC's downtown campus. The proposed 7-story building would house a double gym, fitness center, and meeting rooms on the ground floor, plus apartments and more than 275 parking spaces. The project is expected to break ground this summer. Time for news about your money. Here's the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. And the Dow is a mixed bag right now. The Dow is up, or I should say the markets are a mixed bag because the Dow is up 337 points to 44,495. S&P 500 is up 14 points to 6,100, but the NASDAQ is down. NASDAQ down nearly 41 points to 19,968. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's go ahead and check out the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We're looking really good. The only thing being reported right now on the system is a disabled vehicle. I-43 South at Highland Avenue. Left shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. That's in the Milwaukee area. Heads up there, I-43 South at Highland Avenue. Left shoulder blocked because of a car that's broken down. We had a lot of cars that broke down in our brutally cold temperatures a couple days ago, but definitely things are looking better on the system today. Things are also looking better weather-wise. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny, still cold though, high of 20. Tonight, clear and cold, will dip down to 4 degrees. Tomorrow, increasing clouds. We have a slight chance for flurries in the evening hours. High of 20 tomorrow. Saturday, high of 34, and it's going to be mostly sunny. Sunday, mostly sunny as well. High of 27. Monday, partly cloudy, but a high of 37. It's currently 17 degrees in Racine, 12 in Waukesha, and now up to 16 in Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
Well, when it comes to decorative glass, there aren't many places that offer as much to you as we do. With our in-house artist, you can have your hand in the design process, or you can let them design something for you that you may have never even dreamed of. Beautiful works of art in stained and leaded glass formats, as well as etched glass and even rice paper designs that have become a pretty hot look. In China and Japan, many homes are designed with lattice windows covered with rice paper. The translucent paper diffuses natural light entering the room and creates a serene ambiance. Throughout the day, as the light changes, so will your atmosphere. So whatever your decorative glass needs are, you don't have to look very far. Just call me. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
It is Spanning the State. And no, I wear glasses. My eyes do not lie. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. And recently, UW Health was honored by Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development for its commitment to hiring and supporting veterans.
Nice.
So UW Health has been, after their honor, it was because of their pioneering participation in the Wisconsin Military Medics and Corpsmen program, which temporarily waives the credential and license requirements for eligible Army medics, Navy corpsmen, and Air Force techs, allowing them to work in civilian healthcare roles while they earn additional medical credentials and licenses. Here to talk more about the program is Rudy Jackson, who is both a veteran and the Chief Nurse Executive at UW Health. Welcome to the show, Rudy.
Thank you so much, Brian and Christian. It's great to be here.
So I guess tell us more about how the program works. Wisconsin Military Medics and is it corpsmen and corpsmen?
Corpsmen.
That's what I thought. Corpsmen. I was like, I read it and I was like, I think I said that wrong. So tell us more about the program.
So it's an opportunity for the state of Wisconsin to really support our veterans that have really gotten more training and have prepared them to be able to take care of patients out on the battlefield and utilize those skills in the civilian sector. You know, I think we as a healthcare industry are reeling in the shortages that we're feeling I recently heard a stat that the state of Wisconsin has actually one of the lower practical nurse ratios per capita of all of the states. And so again, it allows us to use these individuals that have really received top tier training and education and put them into working with us. It's been great.
As you said, these servicemen and women have gone through training. They have a medical background. What's the difference between what they went through in the service and the credentials and licenses they'd need, they're working for through your program?
Well, so when you discharge from the military, if you haven't done any of the civilian certification or licensure, then you basically come out of the military with no ability to do anything. That's typical amongst the states. I oftentimes will use myself as an example. When I joined the military as an enlisted soldier, as a medic, when I separated to go to nursing school, I could only get a job at Blockbuster Video. Now, keep in mind, I had years and years of training that I couldn't use. And so it's really about getting that national or getting that civilian certification and those letters behind their names so that they can actually practice. This program allows us to support these individuals in a clinical environment while they're getting that civilian certification and getting those letters that they need.
So, Rudy, I guess functionally, the training you get as a Army medic or the skills that you have when you are doing any kind of medical care in the Army, in the Navy, in the Air Force, is that functionally different, or is it just come down to having the letters behind your name?
Yeah, it comes down to basically having the letters behind your name. I mean, at the end of the day, when you think about, and I'll use the Air Force as an example, the Air Force tech, they are really, really highly skilled individuals. The Navy corpsmen as well, oftentimes they'll do something called FMF, which is almost a special version of the medical corpsmen, but it's their highly skilled, highly specialized training that allows them to really take that work that they did, not only in a combat environment, not only how to stop the bleeding, how to secure a wound, those kind of things, but how to manage patients in a clinical environment, like a primary care office or a specialty care office. The lessons that they learned are really translatable back into the civilian sector.
This sounds like it should have been a no-brainer for years. What do you think the holdup was before a program like yours came along? I don't know. It seems like these men and women have been trained for a long, long time.
Yeah, that's a great question. I honestly don't know. I think that a lot of times when we see a lot of this this training and this skill set that's created, generated, or produced in environments outside of what is the traditional model of the civilian healthcare system, it becomes a little bit more challenging to say, well, what criteria did they achieve? What were the lessons that they learned? What was the models or the theories that they learned or treated with, and how is that translatable? In the current environment, I just don't know that really matters. What we're talking about is taking care of patients in a non-ICU, a non-acute setting, and being able to support those individuals through the care that they've been trained to provide.
And so what has the impact been so far? How many veterans are part of the program as of right now?
Well, so the number is actually smaller than we would like. I mean, We'd love to have every single medic that discharges out of the military to come and work for us. But it's really about, we've been working very closely with an organization called Healthcare for Heroes. It's a great organization that really supports the veteran by not just, plug and play, but really making sure that the individual is secure in their environment. And what I mean by that is, if they don't live in the Madison area, they're not going to work at UW Health, but let's partner with another area in the Fox area or in Door County, wherever they're at, so that they can provide that care. So I think the work that places like Healthcare for Heroes are doing around this is exceptional, because they're looking at the entire state. For UW Health specifically, it's really about supporting these individuals while they continue their education, particularly, if they want to go on and do things within healthcare, i.e., nursing or physician assistants or physicians themselves, whatever the case may be, whatever they choose. It's about getting them into the door, allowing them to utilize those skills while they're actually getting their education. And I will say this, from a I'm sorry to interrupt, from a military perspective, these individuals come out not only highly trained, but from a professionalism perspective, they recognize and understand the rules and regulations. They come in with a different mindset than a traditional employee would. They come in with understanding and recognizing the chain of command. So there's a lot more loyalty and a lot more professionalism that I've seen from these individuals as they've entered the workforce.
You mentioned at the beginning of our conversation the shortage of medical professionals, and we've talked about it on here a number of times. What are there recruiting programs that your program is doing to get the word to these men and women who are about to separate from the military with these skills? Or how do they become aware that, I could go to UW Health and keep this going?
Yeah, interesting question. So most states around the country don't have programs like this. And so, organizations, again, like Healthcare for Heroes have really worked with, what we refer to as separation specialists. So these are individuals that right before you separate from the military, you've got to meet with some of these individuals. Other places may call them career counselors. Okay. Basically, they will talk to you about what options are available to you and what opportunities you may have. How do you utilize your GI Bill? How do you utilize some of those benefits that you've received as a result of your enlistment? And so they will help guide them in the direction that they need to go and help support us and make the connection between the military, Healthcare for Heroes, and then ultimately us. As I've talked to other states around the country and talked to them about this program and what we've been able to get out of it, they keep asking the same question you did. Why hasn't everybody doing this? And that's exactly the questions to be asking because what we know is that we're going to be short almost 1 million nurses in the next several years. The state of Wisconsin alone, roughly 40,000 nurses that we're going to be short, particularly as we think about the individuals that are retiring. We don't have enough healthcare providers coming in the front door to meet the pace of the people that are going out the back door. And that is very, very, very concerning for most of us.
Is there anything logistically that's stopping this as far as having people sign on, because you are letting people who don't have certain credentials or licenses still practice? And so is that something that gets in the way? Because really it sounds like a win-win all around when you talk about this program.
Yeah, again, I think for us in the state of Wisconsin, a lot of this work has been streamlined. So when the individuals are separating, they work with their organization like Healthcare for Heroes. They connect them with us. We go through the interview process like we would any other candidate. We decide we want to make an offer to the individual, and they work directly with the State Board of Nursing or the State Board of whatever it is they're going to be doing, and they're going to be able to support their credential for a limited time while they're in school. And so, one other area, there's a couple of other areas where I think there's great opportunity here. Respiratory therapists, scrub techs, surgical scrub techs. We are having a national shortage of surgical scrub techs, and the military is training scrub techs to do everything from an eye surgery to a cardiothoracic case and everything in between. And so the bandwidth of knowledge that these individuals have would only benefit us in the civilian sector by getting them back into work, getting them into our ORs, and taking care of them. So when organizations push these bills through, it's really just our legislators that need to say, yes, this is a great idea, and we're going to support this, just like they did with the LPN model.
All right. Well, fascinating stuff. Like I said, it sounds like an incredible program that's a win-win for everybody. So Rudy Jackson, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Rudy.
Yeah, great talking to you all. Thank you so much.
Rudy Jackson is a veteran and the chief nurse executive at UW Health, and the program is the Wisconsin Military Medics and Corpsmen program. We'll have more after this.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, a lot of folks have buying a home on their New Year's resolution list, and while national news headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, I'm afraid that's just not the case in most of Wisconsin. So how do you make your offer stand out from the others so that someone else doesn't end up sleeping in your dream home? Well, it takes a team of a good real estate agent and a mortgage lender who has all the tools and techniques to help make your offer as attractive as possible in the eyes of that seller. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet, rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that might also come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. We'll also help you understand exactly what it means in dollars and cents if you do decide to offer over asking or give that seller some appraisal wiggle room. All you have to do to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips? But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active Liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day Active Liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. You can find Active Liver at Amazon.com, or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Go to new, NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New year, new you, New Nordic.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org. Or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Too early.
Wanna get high? Wanna get high?
What's that, a party here, man?
Wanna get high?
Hey.
Wanna get high? Wanna get high?
This is exclusive audio from inside the evidence room in Houston. I'm Brian Noonan on Spanning the State.
And I'm Kristen Bry. So this is not a Wisconsin story, but there is a Wisconsin tied to it if we can get there fast enough. Houston police say their evidence lockers are filled to the brim. They have backpacks, ATMs, thousands of bicycles, notes from nearly a century-old homicide case, and an infestation of rats that have been feasting on the copious contraband. Go ahead.
What is copious contraband?
So basically,
what kind of contraband are we talking about?
400,000 pounds of marijuana in storage.
Wow.
The rats are not only the only ones enjoying. So allowing seized narcotics to pile up could also threaten the troves of more valuable evidence by attracting pests, says Peter Stout, who leads the Houston Forensic Science Center. So basically, there's rats getting high on their own supply. Or I guess it's not their own supply.
It's not their own
the
supply.
Houston Police's supply.
This is just coming in, Kristen. I'm sorry. We got more. This was from an undercover sting. Some cats had set up a rat sting, and this is coming from them.
Who is it?
It's Dave, man. Will you open up? I got the stuff with me.
Who?
Dave, man. Open up.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave. Come on, man. Open up. I think the cops saw me.
Dave's not here.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on down there.
Apparently, talking rats. Is this
Talking
a Disney movie?
rats. It is. It's
a PG-13 Disney movie.
It's Dopatui.
So yeah, I just thought this was hilarious because we talk about rat infestations.
I love it.
There's rat problems in Milwaukee. Obviously, there's a rat czar in New York. There's rat problems in most urban areas, but this is the first I've ever heard of rats breaking into evidence rooms and enjoying narcotics. I have heard of more specifically. So at UW-Madison, I interviewed a doctor there once who specifically looking at the effect of cocaine addiction on mice. And I interviewed her once, and we were talking about what coked up mice are like, and it's exactly what you would think they are like.
I can't see that much of a difference. Mice are already scattered and zipping around. They're all coked up. Now, I wonder, you remember the pizza rat from years ago in New York? There was the viral video. How do you not remember that?
Vaguely.
It's. I wonder if that pizza rat had also been in an evidence room eating eating some evidence. Hold on. We got this is another piece of audio from the rats.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that didn't even do nothing to me, man. I could probably smoke this whole joint, man, and still walk away, man. Wouldn't be no problem at all, man.
Rats getting way too high in Houston. way too high.
All right, well, that's been your fun rat story of the day. When we come
back to the dismal future.
Yes, exactly. When we come back, we will spin around the state on Spanning the State.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Higginson, Saturday afternoon at 2. Join John each week as he challenges financial advice you've been given and reaffirms what you know to be true. If your financial plan doesn't include taxes, insurance, estate planning, and investing, it's incomplete and you can't afford to miss out. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house. To learn more, visit creativeplanning.com/radio.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. OrthoWisconsin.com.
As winter takes a deep freeze, it's not too late for you to get hot, hot, hot. Fox World Travel has your ticket to paradise with deals you won't find anywhere else. Save on last-minute all-inclusive vacations with Apple Vacations or get up to 67% off public cruise rates with Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruises. Is Europe on your mind? Ask about Fox Group Vacations. Book now and save only at Fox World Travel. Book online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO and mention code RADIO.
If better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
So how do you under-promise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal, to do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here, asking you to join me in October as my wife and I explore the magical kingdoms of Southeast Asia, from the villages of Vietnam and the temples of Cambodia to the friendly locals of Laos and the beachside resort in stunning, lively Thailand. I hope you'll join us for this unforgettable journey. Ancient and mysterious worlds of rural landscapes, bustling cities, and fascinating history in Vietnam. Explore the Chu Chi tunnels used by the Viet Cong. Experience a street food adventure through Hanoi and cherish the serenity of Hai Long Bay on a beautiful boat ride. Bangkok in Thailand, the beaches in Thailand, history, tradition, food. If you'd like more information on this great trip, send me an email. john.mercure@wtmj.com. john.mercure@wtmj.com. It's Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. I'm super jazzed about this trip. Send me an email. I send you the info. john.mercure, MERCURE, @wtmj.com.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Tonight, the Bucks burn out the Miami Heat at Fiserv Forum.
Damian Lillard can't hit the three, but there is Giannis to slam it right back up and in.
Our coverage starts tonight at 6. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
201, it's 18 degrees. Tonight, clear and cold in Milwaukee, a low of 4 with a wind chill to 5 below zero. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Tiff Pua. Speaking to global business and political leaders in Davos at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, President Trump doubles down on plans for controversial new trade tariffs.
President Trump touted the executive actions he has taken in his first days in office to attendees at the World Economic Forum in Davos. He said his message to businesses around the world is very simple.
Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth.
But the president also issuing a threat.
If you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
A federal judge in Washington state has temporarily blocked President Trump from moving forward with his plans to reinterpret the 14th Amendment to limit birthright citizenship. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has the latest.
The hearing didn't even take half an hour. Judge John Kuhnauer said in his 4 decades on the bench he'd never seen such a clear case. The Reagan appointee called President Trump's order blatantly unconstitutional and said it, quote, boggles my mind that any lawyer would unequivocally assert otherwise. Trump's order aims to block the issuance of passports and Social Security numbers to children born to women here illegally or on temporary visas unless the father is a U.S. citizen or a green card holder.
The case is one of 5 lawsuits being brought by 22 states, including Wisconsin, and a number of immigrant rights groups across the country. A triple shooting on Milwaukee's north side leaves 1 person dead and 2 hurt. The shooting happened near 39th and West Cheyenne around 6:30 last night. A 22-year-old died at the scene. 2 people in their 50s were taken to the hospital with injuries. Police arrested a 32-year-old. The shooting comes just hours after a 15-year-old died in a shooting near 28th and Atkinson. Kenosha police need help finding a missing teen. 18-year-old Kayla Sobchak was last seen leaving 12th Avenue and 60th Street in Kenosha the night of December 17th. She was reportedly picked up by an unknown man in a gray sedan, but it's not known where she was headed. Sobchak has a history of mental health episodes and drug addiction. You can find more details about her and see her photos on our website, WTMJ.com. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services is working to release a plan for the final attacker in the Slender Man stabbing case. Morgan Geyser has spent more than a third of her life at the Winnebago Mental Health Institute in Oshkosh.
Slenderman attacker Morgan Geyser was committed to the Winnebago Mental Health Institute after being found not guilty by reason of mental disease. She's currently one of about 170 patients. Director Jesse Andrews.
We serve all individuals across the lifespan, primarily serving those who are in need of inpatient psychiatric treatment.
Geyser committed the crime when she was just 12. She's now 22. Andrews explains how her team prepares patients like Geyser to re-enter society.
Providing them with individual and group therapy opportunities to help them stabilize their psychiatric needs, also helps them kind of navigate what is happening with them so that they understand their symptoms.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. Here's your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A mixed day on the bourse day. Your Dow is up 327 points to 44,484. The S&P 500 is also up 11 points to 6,098, but your Nasdaq is down 45 points to 19,963. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Will the Bucks be able to get out of New Orleans? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
Hey, there's free pizza today at the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the free pizza days. Seriously, it's free. Coaches, managers, business owners, listen up. Check this out. Every Thursday, when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 2, get 2 free. Buy 10, get 10 free. You get it. Bring in your basketball, wrestling, hockey, gymnastics, volleyball team, or your club organization for free pizza after your practice or game. Your players are going to love that huge game room. It's super affordable team bonding. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees. Half those pizzas are free. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and Oshkosh near the EAA. It's right off the interstate. Tons of seating, tons of close parking. Buy one pizza today, get one free. That's tons of value. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. Order now and pick it up shortly or dine in. A reminder, the Friday all-you-can-eat fish fry is just $7.99. Whoa, that's great value. Walk in today for your free Thursday pizza. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks are still hoping to get back in time for their game tonight against the Miami Heat at Fiserv Forum. They're currently stuck in snowy New Orleans, where Wednesday night's game against the Pelicans was postponed due to snowy weather. Bucks president Peter Feigin telling WTMJ,
"We've got to shuttle an aircraft to New Orleans, like from Atlanta, kind of the timing gets to, so we could possibly have a landing around 5 o'clock. If that happens, we'd probably look for a later start, but this is all in motion."
Based on the current time, our coverage is set to start at 6 p.m. after Wisconsin's afternoon news. UW and Panthers beat Wright State 95-79 in Horizon League play Wednesday night. The Panthers now take on Northern Kentucky tomorrow night. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. 2 crashes to mention today. Wisconsin Highway 100 South at Watertown Plank Road. The right lane is blocked due to a crash. And the ramp from I-43 South to 94 West. The right lane is blocked due to a crash. Now, police are on scene, but traffic is moving very slowly through that area, so just be careful. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear and cold with a low of 4. The wind chill going down to 5 below 0. For your Friday, increasing clouds with a slight chance of afternoon flurries, a high of 20. For Saturday, becoming mostly sunny, a high of 34. Stays sunny on Sunday with a high of 27. And Monday, partly cloudy with a high of 37. Right now in Madison, it's 15. In Waukesha, it's 14. In Green Bay, it's 17. And here in Milwaukee, it's mostly sunny and 18 degrees. I'm Tiff Pua, citing Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 2:08.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
All right, well, normally at this point, I tell you, hey, if you need more details on the story, you can text SPIN to 855-616-1620. But long story short, the website where we post the stories is not allowing us to post stories today. So we will try our best, and we'll get this stuff up at some point. And if not, well, you better pay attention now, or you'll have to go and listen on the podcast, which is easier anyway. You don't have to read. Reading hurts your eyes. So just listen. All right. I'm going to spin the wheel, Kristen.
All right.
I'm going to do it.
La Crosse.
Well, La Crosse Regional Airport is hoping to make it easier for you to hop a flight. An effort by the airport to attract a new airline is gaining momentum after years of declining service. The La Crosse County Board of Supervisors approved up to $250,000 in funding to provide a minimum revenue guarantee to a new airline. The funding pool reduces financial risk around adding a new service by supplementing revenues if ticket sales for the airline fall short during the first year. J.D. Roberts, who's the business manager for the La Crosse Regional Airport, told WPR, quote, it's a very common practice, almost to the point where if you don't have this, it makes it very difficult to attract a new airline, end quote. The reason they're in this trouble, well, Delta dropped all flights to La Crosse in 2023 due to a shortage of pilots and equipment that began during the pandemic. The airport is hoping to talk with Delta as well as United about adding service to their facility.
Yeah, because I would imagine over there, then the closest airport is Minneapolis.
Yeah. And that's where a lot of these, a lot of the flights from La Crosse would go there and, short little jaunts to connect. And not anymore. All right. Well, good luck with that, La Crosse Regional Airport.
Green Bay. All right. The Packers could be getting a new neighbor. A multi-use development could be coming to the neighborhood across the street from Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The Green Bay Plan Commission unanimously approved development plans for roughly 3 acres at the corner of Lombardi Avenue and Ridge Road that have been largely empty since 2016. The project still needs approval of the city council to move forward. Residents were vocal about their concerns for the development. The Press-Gazette reported that the biggest concerns included the neighborhood's integrity would be disrupted by traffic having no direct access onto Lombardi Avenue, instead spilling out onto the adjacent roads, altered stormwater flows, and not to mention 52 to 64-foot buildings, which would, I would say, change the skyline of that part of Green Bay. A 7-page traffic study attached to the proposed PUD didn't support the residents' traffic characterizations. So that would be, to see a big, a tall building in that residential neighborhood would be weird, but it's also progress. Sometimes you got to grow up if you can't grow out.
That's right. And, what do you want? If you live in that area, you just want that as a empty lot for forever?
Yeah.
No, one-story buildings aren't going to make the kind of money that need to be made. So, sorry, at least you got a chance to complain. That's always good, right?
Beloit.
Kristen, here's a little lesson. If a jazz legend calls, you better answer the phone.
Okay.
That's it. Just be ready. The 23-piece Beloit Memorial High School Jazz Orchestra, which was invited by the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra to perform on the Overture Hall stage before the main act that night, featuring headliner Wynton Marsalis. Yes. The night after that, the night after the Beloit students play, in the 2,255-seat Overture Hall, Sun Prairie High School's jazz ensemble is going to open up for Marsalis and the JLCO at the Marcus Center in Milwaukee. High school jazz players getting it done. Good for you. The State Journal reports that both Wisconsin bands have been finalists in the National Essentially Ellington competition and festival for high school musicians, which led to the JLCO's invitation to be part of its Wisconsin concerts. For the January 29th show at the Overture Center, the Beloit Jazz Orchestra is likely to play a few short Ellington tunes. And interestingly enough, the 17-member Sun Prairie Group, which requires an audition and meets outside of the school day, is made up of students from both East and West Sun Prairie high schools. And I know how much it takes for these jazz musicians to get to that level, so congratulations, and break a leg, not a lip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very nice.
Very cool.
Did you play any instruments in high school?
I did not. I played saxophone in 5th grade.
Okay. That was it.
And then I switched to chorus.
All right.
But I do remember trying to be able to play the saxophone, and I think I had a solo to do Edelweiss once. I'm not sure I hit every note that I was expected to hit.
Playing a musical instrument is hard, and I have admiration for anybody who can do it. I've tried different ones over the years, and I don't have the aptitude or the patience. So good for those kids. All right. You can hear Spinning the State if you missed anything as part of our podcast. You can get that wherever you get your podcast or WTMJ.com. And check back. Maybe it'll be published later. We don't know. Okay. We don't know what technology is doing. Hey, Governor Evers gave a speech last night. It was called the State of the State. What did we take away from that? We'll find out after this on Spanning the State.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Elizabeth and John bought their starter home 8 years ago, BC, as in before children. Now, with 2 elementary school-age kids, they wanted to make a move to the suburbs for a bigger home with more yard. But they didn't know if or how they could buy their next home without selling their current one. Fortunately, a friend who was a multi-time AccuNet client connected them with us, and we soon determined they could, in fact, afford to buy without selling first, which was a big relief to them and their real estate agent. Armed with an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, it still took several weeks to find the right home for the next chapter in their life. But I'm happy to report that Elizabeth, John, and their boys opened their presents on Christmas morning in their new home after closing just a few days before. Whether you're buying your first home or your next home, go with the pros who have all the tools and know-how to make your home buying experience as smooth and successful as humanly possible. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WisCaregiver.com gets you started. Choose between 2 great options. Become a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. Training is free, plus earn a $500 bonus. It's easy to start your new career. Learn more at WisCaregiver.com.
Yes, that's right. That is Pink Floyd. And guess what? We're giving away 2 tickets to see the legendary music of Pink Floyd in concert with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. That sounds excellent. They're coming to the Riverside Theater on February 7th. Tickets are on sale now at PabstTheaterGroup.com. But listen, put your wallet away. You don't have to buy any. If you are caller 5 at 855-616-1620, we're going to give you 2 tickets. 855-616-1620. Caller 5 is going to enjoy the legendary music of Pink Floyd as you've never heard it before in concert with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and a full rock band. So good luck, Pink Floyd fans.
Indeed.
Indeed. So here we are. It's Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I'm Kristen Bry. And last night was the State of the State, which was Governor Tony Evers' 7th State of the State since he first took office in 2019. And it is an annual speech that is the opportunity for the governor to outline his executive vision. And at least in this state, it is often somewhat contentious as Democratic Tony Evers and the GOP-controlled legislature often hold different priorities.
We're not doing anything he proposed.
And so, and then we get to basically do a similar speech in February, since we're in a budget year, where Evers is going to unveil what his budget priorities are. That comes next month. And then, in the past, similarly, Republicans have torn that up and started over with what they wanted to have in the budget. And so, but it's always interesting at least to see, for those of us who are political nerds, what the priorities are as far as Tony Evers, what he's thinking. But it's also, and in watching it, I was not able to decipher anything in there, and I don't know if the budget will give more clues as far as, is this a re-election? Are these things that are cluing that he's going to run for re-election, or are these items that he wants to put his name on before he does not run again?
Well, if that is the case, some of the big things that he was proposing go to issues that we've talked about here a lot and that voters are very concerned about. Mainly, first and foremost, the cost of child care in Wisconsin. And that was, there were a lot of child care and
it's the year of the kid.
It's the year of the kid.
Because he's had 2 years ago was the year of mental health.
Mm-hmm.
What was last year? I'm blanking on what last year was, but last year was another. It's the year of this.
So
and
I
now
like
he's
the year of the
saying
kid.
the year of the kid.
So it's child care, it's like
mental
universal
health
lunch,
in schools.
mental health care in schools.
Which is interesting because I actually had someone point this out to me who's worked in school safety in the past, because I actually just saw on the homepage of Journal Sentinel right now, there's a judge orders that NPS put police in schools by February 17th.
Okay.
So there's been this kind of, there was a mandate that SROs go back into Milwaukee public schools. There's been dragging of feet.
Yes.
And now there is a mandate saying that this has to happen by next month. But I had someone point out to me that studies show having more mental health counselors in schools actually curbs school violence more than SROs do.
If kids have a place that they can go, whether it's social workers, whether it's psychologists, and get that, the big term in schools is, you got to talk about your big feelings. And you could snicker at that if you want, but we all have big feelings. And if you're 8 or 9, if you're 50, sometimes you don't know how to deal with those big feelings. So for a kid to be able to sit down, whether they're in grade school or high school, and talk to somebody and be proactive in stopping this stuff, it should go on the list of things that we always say, well, this is the list where everybody should agree on this kind of thing, right? But unfortunately, some people don't. But I think it's crucial to stopping things like Madison.
Yeah. And then one of the other big, I think, it's interesting because Tony Evers is not always the most powerful public speaker.
Right.
I was said this to my friend who was over when we watched it last night, as far as if he does run again, how many times are we going to see his fumble at the DNC on a recurring political ad?
Oh, gosh.
But there's some times where he does not mince words.
Mm-hmm.
And so it stood out to me last night as far as him standing pretty tough in the wake of President Trump taking office this week and saying, this was the quote: "The state of Wisconsin was born of immigrants, but today there are those who would have us forget that fact. There are those who would have us rewrite the story of ourselves, and they would ask us to believe in a distorted and dishonest history. They would have us abandon the values that made us who we are and the people whose blood, love, and labor make our state great. We cannot and we will not." And so and then in response, Voss basically said that they are going to pass a bill to say that Wisconsin as a whole will work with ICE. And so this is framing up to be an interesting battle within Wisconsin, I think, as far as where Evers and I think Josh Kaul fall on this issue. And like I said, not really mincing words on where they fall in this speech last night. versus Republican priorities.
He did that with the Affordable Care Act, too, where he said he is going to instruct everybody to fight against the Trump administration or Congress to preserve abortion access in Wisconsin. So there's a lot of things he's saying. And then, of course, after he talked about all the good stuff for the kids, Assembly Majority Leader Tyler August said, I'm not sure what planet the governor is living on, honestly.
Well, it's also interesting because Tyler August said something. He's like, he didn't pay attention to what happened in the state in the election in November. But the thing is, that can be taken both ways because Wisconsin did vote for Trump by less than a percentage point.
Yeah, it wasn't a mandate by any stretch.
And in the legislature, Republicans lost 14 seats. And so I think that is up for interpretation as far as what is the mandate and what results were you paying attention to.
Yeah, and who are you, you could go by that, the end result, or are you going to listen to the voters who are actually telling you these are the issues that are important to us? All these families who can't afford childcare and don't, save your thumbs. Well, they shouldn't have kids if they can't afford them. That's a weak argument. It's a lazy argument. So save yourself the time and don't make it. But those are issues. People want health care. People want to be able to go to work, but they have to have somebody to watch their kids, and they can't give all their money to childcare.
Yeah. So, it's a little pomp and circumstance. The UW marching band always comes out. It was funny to see who was dancing and who wasn't at the end of the night to the marching band. But I know I've heard testimony from kids who've done that, and they said it's always one of their favorite things every year to be able to do. So anyways, this sets the foundation for where we're going in politics in 2025 in Wisconsin, and should be interesting, as always. When we come back, Brian is very excited. There's been some very important new developments as far as the gas station wars in Wisconsin.
That's right.
He is ecstatic. Stay with us.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. And they're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Feeling like winter inside your house? WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. Many homes built before 1980 have little to no insulation. Anything you do, better than what you got, but you call USA and now you've got the best. Their foam injection method, 35% more efficient than your standard wall insulation. Most jobs done in as little as a day. Some homeowners qualify for thousands in rebates and discounts. Every USA customer begins saving money day one. USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. Gather your crew of just 15 or more for a Brewers group outing and trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field. featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and more. Plus, Brewers Ticket representatives will make planning your event easy, as they'll be your concierge while you book your event. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
All right, Brian, you got some good news today.
Listen, this is very exciting. You know, I've been following the developments of Buc-ee's coming to Wisconsin. DeForest, you've been dragging your feet. Things up there, I don't know. Hometown favorite Quick Trip is getting their new distribution center up there, and yet Buc-ee's can't get a little funding to help with the interchange up there. Well, that's okay. That's okay, DeForest. You drag your feet because Oak Creek is jumping into the fray at their upcoming meeting, the Planning Commission meeting. They are going to talk about rezoning for a proposed Buc-ee's at the intersection southwest corner of I-94 and Elm Road. It's a 73,000 square foot convenience store fueling plaza. It's going to have 120 gas pipes. You know, I have an exclusive hot take from the former mayor of Oak Creek, Steve Scafidi. I texted him, and just moments ago, he said, quote, "I'll always celebrate news of a new business or organization coming to Oak Creek. But at this moment, I'm seeing more departures than arrivals.
Oh.
That's concerning to me. We didn't build a new interchange at Drexel just for IKEA. Time to get busy and finish what we started more than a decade ago." That from former Oak Creek Mayor Steve Scafidi. Hot take from me. Yeah, bring it. Might be opening.
That would actually be on your commute. See, this is because my whole contention this entire time has been, you're not going into DeForest.
Right. But
and
the
now
first
this
one,
is actually going to be on your route to work.
I will be eating Buc-ee's nuggets and sitting in a clean bathroom every time I come to work and go home from work. Picture that in your brain while you listen to ABC News and local headlines.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The first of 1,500 troops deployed by the Pentagon are soon heading to the southern border. It follows President Trump's executive orders on immigration, including declaring a national emergency. The military's role is to support state and federal agencies, but could also add to tensions in border communities. ABC's Maria Villarreal is in El Paso.
The biggest concern here on the ground in these border communities is the optics of this. If we see military troops coming to our border, is this more of showing a sign of strength, showing what the unapologetic message is from the Trump administration, or is this actually resolving a problem?
Pete Hegseth's confirmation to become the defense secretary, clearing another hurdle. The Senate passed a vote to advance his nomination. A full vote is tomorrow. The Senate confirmed John Ratcliffe as Trump's CIA director today. Trucks continuing to roll into Gaza, bringing much-needed aid for displaced Palestinians. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:31. I'm Tiff Pua. A judge orders police officers back into Milwaukee Public Schools by February 17. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is reporting that in the ruling today, the requirement forces MPS to comply with Act 12, the state law that requires 25 school resource officers to be present in school buildings. The judge dismissed MPS's request to dismiss the lawsuit, which was brought by the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty. MPS has been out of compliance with Act 12 since January 1st of 2024. Rescued from the icy waters of Lake Mendota, the Madison Fire Department responded to a call near Picnic Point just before 11 p.m. last night. A man used his cell phone flashlight as a beacon to help firefighters spot him about 3/4 of a mile from the UW campus boat ramp. The lake rescue team rescued him from the water, and then he was taken to the hospital. He said he was walking on the ice when he fell through, only being in the water about 20 minutes. Buc-ee's is coming to southeast Wisconsin. The city of Oak Creek will be discussing the possibility of opening a Buc-ee's travel center at their January 28th Plan Commission meeting. The proposed site would be located at the southwest corner of I-94 and Elm Road and would feature an over 73,000 square foot store, 120 gas pumps, and EV charging. The store's anticipated opening would be early 2027. And Master Lock's parent company will close its office in Oak Creek. Fortune Brands Innovations is consolidating operations to its Deerfield, Illinois location. The news comes about 10 months after Master Lock closed its historic plant on Milwaukee's north side. The Milwaukee Business Journal reports the move will affect about 120 employees in Oak Creek. Time for news about your money. Here's your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Still a mixed bag on the boards today. Your Dow is up 313 points to 44,469. The S&P 500 is up 14 points to 6,101, but the Nasdaq is down 23 points to 19,986. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. One big crash to report. I-43 south at Wisconsin 145 Fond du Lac Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. Now, police are out. There was a fire truck out. It looks like they've left the scene, but there are 3 cars involved, and you want to just stay out of that area. Let the traffic flow the way it's supposed to. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear and cold with a low of 4 degrees. The wind chill could dip down to 5 below zero. For your Friday, increasing clouds with a slight chance of afternoon flurries, a high of 20. For your Saturday, becoming mostly cloudy, a high of 34. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 27. And for your Monday, partly cloudy and a high of 37. Right now in Pewaukee, it's 13 degrees. In Oostburg, it's 17. And in Milwaukee, mostly sunny and 18 degrees. I'm Tiff Pua. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Stop in and load up on great everyday essentials at Fleet Farm Stock Up Sale, January 16th through the 29th. 40-pound bags of Morton Water Softener Salt are just $5.99. Superior hardwood fuel pellets are on sale for $5.49 a bag. And don't forget your backyard friends. 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $14.99. Be sure to stock up on all your everyday favorites, all at the best prices, guaranteed, at Fleet Farm Stock Up Sale.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Taxes in retirement could take a bigger bite out of your savings than ever before. With a rising tax environment, many retirees are worried about running out of money. At Drake & Associates, we understand those fears, and we're here to help you feel more confident about your retirement. That's why we're offering a free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to help you take control of your financial future. Don't let rising taxes catch you off guard. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 to claim your free resources. That's TAX to 414-897-9522.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan. Now, I'm imagining that as Frankie gets older, if she has a desire, you will put her in youth sports.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure she has a choice.
Okay, well, that's well, yeah. With your family lineage,
my
of
family
sports
lineage,
and
Mike's family. I mean, because Mike ran track in college, and he's a big. I would say. I mean, no, we're not going to force it, but she's certainly going to get signed
encouraged.
up.
She will be encouraged.
I would say as soon as she can. She'll be doing gymnastics by 3. It's to start getting body awareness and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
but I'm also a big subscriber. That's not just because I want you to be a D1 athlete. I subscribe to the lessons of what sports teaches us.
Yeah.
As we talked on Tuesday about what golf can do to build character. I come from a household that very much believes in the power of sports teaching you integrity, how to bounce back from a loss, teamwork, discipline, like all of those things. So that is the big reason why I want her to play sports.
Well, I'm just picturing Frankie going into this little kid. Molly did gymnastics at like 2 and 3 too.
Okay.
It is the most hilarious and physically exhausting, but because it was I had to do the stuff with her.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, but it's fun, and I appreciate sports. Now, you've been to sporting events. How do you think you will be as the fan, the parental fan, toward the officials? Will you be one of these people who is screaming at, say, a high school or college kid who is refereeing Frankie's soccer game down the road?
I would like to think not. I would like to think that I am not going to bully the refs or her coaches in the future.
Well, the reason I ask is we both saw this, or you saw this and brought it to us. Wisconsin is short more than 3,000 refs at any given time of the year, according to the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association's Assistant Director, Kate Peterson Abade. So right now, there's approximately 6,600 officials registered in the state, but they want to have 10,000 because there's a lot of kids and a lot of activities, a lot of games. So the reason they state as contributing to the shortage is high retirement and low retention. So why are we not being able to, why can't we retain referee? It seems like a fun gig to be
I don't know how much they get paid per game or anything like that. My uncle who lives in Pewaukee, I know he and my uncle in Pewaukee, and I'm pretty sure my uncle in Rapids, they both that's one of their hobbies as far as being a referee. And but apparently, only 20% of refs in the last 10 years have said that the number one reason for quitting is adult behavior.
Like the kids are acting too much like adults?
No, I think it's basically that the parents are being a little aggressive towards someone who's, I guess they're not technically volunteering their time because they are getting paid, but it's not their full-time job.
No.
And it's certainly not their full-time job to be verbally harassed by overzealous parents.
And here we're talking about like high school referees that you'd see at your kid's football game or lacrosse match or where, I don't know, lacrosse must have referees. But I've seen it when Molly played softball when she was in grade school. People yelling at these kids who were umping. And it's like, what are you doing?
I think it was 2 years ago. Was it at a Brookfield? It was in southeast Wisconsin. It was a weekend tournament. And I don't know if it was at Arrowhead or Brookfield or it was one of these. And it was a clip that went viral. I remember because I retweeted it. And one of the announcer got on the PA system and was basically telling parents to sit down and shut up or leave, right? And so that caused a lot of people to either cheer and say thank you for just telling parents to chill out. And then there was a lot of people who did not appreciate his language because I'm pretty sure there may have been an expletive involved in it as well.
Well, maybe if you weren't acting the fool, somebody wouldn't have to put you in line. A ref in Eau Claire was quoted in this story. He said he's frequently found himself on the receiving end of bad sportsmanship. He said, over the years, I've faced parents and fans following me out to my car. They even followed me home once, yelling and making it personal toward me. That's
unacceptable.
No,
it's unacceptable.
And it's also unbelievable. Really? Your kid's team lost and you're going to follow the official home? What are you thinking?
I know. So one of the solutions being proposed is students themselves. So as part of a fairly new program, roughly 40 Wisconsin schools have begun implementing programs that drive students to register to be officials. In 2022, the program recruited 243 new young officials. And I don't know, is that the solution to backfilling and recruiting more people to be officials? Or are people thinking that parents are going to be less unruly to younger referees?
See, I don't think that the parents who are predisposed to be jerks to the referees are going to be even jerkier. Plus, then you've got the chance that the athletes themselves are going to see one of their peers and have zero respect for what the official is bringing to them. Whereas maybe before if you're out on the field and you get a call against you, you hesitate a little because it's an adult, maybe.
Maybe. Let's take a short break because I want to come back because I think this is not only with officials, but it's also with people who want to be coaches. Mm-hmm. And I remember Michael Lewis had a podcast episode about this. Michael Lewis, who wrote Moneyball,
right,
talked about this specifically and how parents have changed over the years as far as, and I think it's tied into helicopter parenting. And I think specifically with Gen Z, it's a different breed than even for millennials.
And
so,
I have a different thought on why parents are acting that way.
all right, so we'll talk more about this on the other side.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
Time's ticking on Heiser's Drive Into 2025 sales event. The clock is literally running out on remaining 2024 models. We're making room for new rides, which means huge savings just for you. Shop online or race in today and get a new vehicle for way less than expected. With low payments, special financing, and immediate delivery, you'll start 2025 in style without breaking the bank. But hurry, because once they're gone, they're gone. Visit Heiser.com now for all of the details and get ready to roll into the new year with a celebratory deal.
See dealer for complete details.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlands.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit Froedtert.com/cancer.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Well, welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan. We've been talking about the shortage of referees for high school sports in Wisconsin. They're short more than 3,000 refs, and we're wondering why. Well, we got the answer from one study that said 20% of refs are blaming it on unruly parent spectators. Yes, it's your fault, Mom and Dad, because you are losing your mind and your perspective on the fact that it is. I understand getting revved up. If your kid is playing any sport, you want your kid's team to win. You're caught up in it. You can cheer all you want. You can scream all you want, encouragement. But if they lose, that's part of the game.
That's part of the game. I mean, and this is what I'm talking about as far as what the importance of sports is. There's also part of sports is it's not always fair. You don't always get the call.
Yeah, look at the playoffs last weekend. A lot of people saying, the Chiefs got all the calls.
Yeah, well,
sure they did, but
that's a whole other thing. But I'm just saying, as far as setting the example to your kids that you can freak out on the official or a coach, because I think that this is the same thing. So I think what was the name of the? So Michael Lewis, who wrote Moneyball, has a podcast still called Against the Rules. And I remember listening to this back. I think this episode was from 2020, and he talked about his high school days in New Orleans, and there was a coach that he had, a baseball coach that he had that changed his life. And also he gave lots of different stories of different kids and how this guy changed their lives. And a lot of it was through tough love.
Sure.
Right? It was like if you actually getting suspended, if you broke the rules, or if you were late for practice, or and it's like, it's not just because you were the best player, you didn't get special treatment. And so a coach, an old school coach who understood the responsibility of being a coach to kids is bigger than winning the games or winning the season. It is about teaching them about how to be an adult and how to take accountability and responsibility. And I know for my dad, who coached myself, coached my brother, that was a big thing too, right? Like, just because you were the best player, if you missed curfew at a basketball tournament, you did not start or you didn't get to play in the game, because that was part of the experience of taking responsibility. And so it's like, to flip that now and have this, like, coaches just get berated by parents is not letting them be another informed person in your kid's life that's helping them grow and mature.
I think part of the problem is a lot of people think they know better, and it doesn't matter in what area you are. They know better than the coach. They know better than the doctors. They know better than this. And so, of course, everybody also wants to think their kid is the best, even though in the back of your mind, your kid can't dribble with just one hand. They're not the best, and
kid
that's
can't
okay.
Go to the left.
Right, big stick, no wheels. This kid can hit, but he can't make it to first base without oxygen. So what are you going to do? It's okay, but we parents think they know better. So when the coach makes a decision or disciplines their child, it's an affront to them. I also do believe there is a sector of parent fandom that are frustrated by their own lack of development in said sport. And so they believe that they're going to push their kid and scream at the ump because they should have made it when they didn't.
A lot of projection going on.
A lot of projection, a lot of living vicariously through your kid and trying to get. That's what fuels the anger when your child's team doesn't get to the next level because, if that happened to me and now look what happened. So there's a lot of different aspects, but the bottom line is you're watching youth sports. And even if your child's team is going for the state championship, one of those teams isn't going to go. That doesn't negate the talent and the effort and the discipline that it took to get to that point. You're still playing. You're in the final. You made it to the final too. And I'm not saying that you should just walk away from a loss and go, oh, well. But like you said, those old school coaches teach you.
And it's not that you can't be passionate during the game.
Exactly.
But to follow someone to their car, to make it personal, to not be able to take a breath after the game and let it go.
Oh.
That is important adult behavior.
And how narcissistic do you have to be to think that these officials have targeted your child for their ire? They don't know who, I got my assignment. I'm working, Eau Claire East and West tonight. I don't know who the kids are on the roster. This is not personal. This is the rules.
I think I remember vaguely, I might be remembering this wrong, but this was actually an interesting solution. I think it was for a little league in New Jersey that basically said if you verbally harass an umpire, you're either banned or you have to become an umpire.
Yes.
Right? There was this story from 1 or 2 years ago. And I feel like, one, do you want that person actually being an umpire? But it's an interesting solution as far as like, all right, buddy, you put on a striped shirt and you call the game and see how you do at it.
Come on out.
Yeah.
You tried to call a strike zone on a kid who's 5'2". It's very difficult. You're going to make a mistake. That's just how it is. But so anyway, they're trying to they want more. They're trying to use this students thing. You can go online and try and get certified to become an official and go out and if you think if you think it's easy, go do it and have fun. Somebody texted in that their son plays TU baseball, so under 10 baseball. Gets paid $90 a game. Most games are just under 2 hours. And he said it's a good gig until you get that obnoxious parent or coach. Yeah, friends of
Especially
mine
for
used
an
to
outdoor,
do it. Oh my gosh.
go sit in the sun.
How about it? And then you just get to watch kids play. And watching little kids play is fun. And high school kids are, the games are good, but there's... At some point, I wonder if there's a lot of signs that have popped up around parks giving the rules for parents, kind of that same thing. I wonder if we'll ever get to the point where we have to say, listen, we can't have spectators here.
Just hand muzzles out before the game starts.
Because you don't know how to work.
All right, we got to do this and then come back and say goodbye.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
We're Ted and Pam, owners of Church and Chapel Funeral Homes here in town.
Our family, serving your family.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Numbness, tingling in the hands, arms, legs, feet. Time to go see Dr. Alex Young and my team at Connect Chiropractic. Regular chiropractic care can bring life-changing results for folks who suffer from neuropathy and fibromyalgia, nervous system issues that can be corrected. And no worries about twisting, cracking, or popping. The docs at Connect Chiro use all the same method, a special tool that is pain-free and effective for your adjustments. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa or get started online at GoConnectChiro.com.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, it's 620 WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and if you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out Dr. James Michaels at Economowalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. He's prioritized patients' needs, no matter how sensitive, since he began practicing in 1985. If you're due for a dental visit, Economowalk Dental has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. We all have to go to the dentist. Do not put it off any longer. Check out Economowalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economowalk Dental Care.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
I believe it's time for me to fly.
All right, we got to get out of here. Time flies.
Time sure does fly. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next.
See ya.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung